Were they right or were they wrong? Well, it's that time of year again, folks. It is time for another exhilarating edition of Revisiting the 2024 Real Estate Market Predictions to see how they panned out and talk over the predictions for 2025. Are you as ready as I am to see how the pros and, of course, myself and my predictions panned out? Hi, my name is Cassandra Marks, also known as Realtor Cass. I am your guide to absolutely everything Southwest Washington, Clark County, Vancouver, and even Portland. And before we get too far into this, I have a few disclaimers. Cue the music. Number one, I am not an economist, but I have been a real estate investor since 2011, so I know a thing or two. Number two, these are my opinions and my assumptions based on what trends I see as I help people like yourself, boots on the ground here in Southwest Washington, buy and sell houses every single day. So, also, you might want to consult more people, but these are my opinions. Anyways, so there are some people that have been doing this obviously a lot longer than I have. So let's take a look at their 2024 predictions and how they panned out, and look at their 2025 predictions, dissect them into smaller bits, little smaller bits, bite-sized bits, and drill into what this might mean for buyers and sellers like yourself in 2024 and 2025 here in Southwest Washington. So let's start with home price predictions, since everyone wants to know how much equity they gained or lost in 2024. So the predictions by NAR's chief economist, Lawrence Yun, he predicted that prices would increase moderately at about 2% year over year from 2023 to 2024. And I predicted that we would see closer to that 100-year average, somewhere between 3 and 4%. Okay, how did that prediction pan out? Even with the Fed cutting the rates 3 times in 2024, we saw the year ending with higher interest rates than we started with. Oh my gosh. But that didn't stop home appreciation. Nope. The national median home price was still up 3.9% year over year. And in Southwest Washington, we saw a 2.9% appreciation from December of 2023, where the median home price was only $525,000. Now, the December 2024 median home price is $540,000. This appreciation on level is kind of in between, in the middle, where both NAR and my predictions had us. But I will give participation ribbons to Redfin and Realtor.com. They were way off. They were expecting price declines of 1% and 1.7%, but they were wrong the last 2 years. So this is a little lesson as to watch out where you get your information from. So NAR was low. I was a little bit high. Southwest Washington, and then there's Fannie Mae. So they had the most bullish prediction last year of the bunch, with an expectation that the home prices would increase by 2.4%. Well, we saw 2.9 and the national average was 3.9. So there we go. So where do housing economists see us in 2025? Well, they are predicting mild home appreciation around 2% in 2025. Home appreciation predictions range somewhere between 4.9 and 1.5%. Here's a beautiful graph. Zillow forecasts 2.6% home value growth in 2025, where Realtor.com predicts 3.7% increase, which is consistent with the growth trend since 2012. Maybe they will finally get it right this year. Wells Fargo also has the most bullish forecast at 4.9% annual growth in home values for 2025. I'm kind of curious what they're seeing to get that number. Not a bad one though. With demand high and rates still over 7%, added stress of wildfires and challenges getting homeowners insurance in California and other places, like near rising temps in the south, causing more people to migrate north, I think we are going to see higher appreciation than last year's 2.9%. And we will be more around the average appreciation to mirror the last 100 years, giving around 4% year over year appreciation in the Southwest Washington. The general feeling is that people are tired of waiting for rates, so they're just going in and making and buying the homes. Ultimately, people always need to buy and sell, and the inventory shortage makes appreciation still occur. Is this about what you expected? I will say I am pretty surprised it wasn't more, with how many people are relocating to Southwest Washington. Next, let's chat over home sales predictions. So in 2024, NAR chief economist Lawrence Yun, again, Realtor.com, Redfin, and Fannie Mae predicted home sales to be around 4 million units nationally in 2024 compared to 2023. I thought we would see an increase, but nothing substantial. So it really wasn't like we saw a little bit last year. So where did we end up? Nationally, we were up to around 4.15 million units sold. That being said, that is a great thing to hear that available inventory is rising year over year. In Southwest Washington, we were up 9.2% in listings and 8.6% in closed sales. So the inventory is coming back, but we are still down since the recession. One of the main reasons we are still low on inventory is because over 50% of people with mortgages right now have a 5% interest rate or less, causing this lock-in effect where people just cannot fathom having an interest rate almost double what they have right now. I mean, we have a 3.625, I think. So in 2025, everyone is predicting over, that 4 million mark in sales all the way up to 4.47 million by NAR. NAR expects the amount of homes sold in 2025 to increase by 9%. And this is great news, but it is still not going to fill the demand that is in the market. The other consideration is that the top end of the baby boomers, the 1946 to 1964, is starting to hit the average US life expectancy of 77 years old. And now, going forward here in 2025, 10,000 boomers a day until 2030 will be turning 65. So they will start to downsize. And right now, only about half of them have. So we're going to see a lot more inventory coming on the market. What does this mean for everybody going forward? I think we're going to have a foreseeable inventory crisis till 2030, 2035. But people are tired of waiting out the interest rates. So I think we're going to start to see a shift into more homes coming on the market, boomers downsizing, and hopefully some relief for buyers that are seeing between 2 to 10 offers on every single home they see. Maybe you heard more people in your networks buying and selling in this past year. Did you kind of notice the uptick in the inventory in 2024? Let me know down below. I know I felt that crunch at the end of the year, just like my clients did, but I definitely had more listing appointments to go on and more sellers or more buyers actually finding homes that worked for them. So that's really good news. And probably the hottest topic for the past year, mortgage interest rate predictions. All right, let's start with the predictions for rates and what we thought they were going to do in 2024. So in 2023, we ended the year around 6.61%, which was higher than we started the year with. And as for 2024, housing economists all expected mortgage rates to remain below 7%, though none predicted a drop below 6%. With rates returning into the 6s and possibly below, we see people's affordability rise, and I bet we see many, many buyers come back into the market. Well, that was the prediction. Unfortunately, the experts were wrong. 2 years in a row, not the best record to have when rates are actually going up. Economists have been dangling this little optimistic carrot, and even with the 3 rate reductions by the Fed, we ended 2024 over 7% interest with no decreases in sight. Let's talk about affordability and the common entry-level home. It's about $450 here in the Vancouver, Portland market, right? Okay, so a buyer is approved for $450,000 home at 6% interest rate. The interest rate jumps to 7%. The buyer loses 9% of their buying power, which is actually over $40,000. And now they're only approved up to $409,500. If that rate continues to climb to 8%, like it did that one time in October 2023, the buyer has now lost another $40,000 in buying power and are down to an approval of $369,000, down from an original $450,000. So now fast forward to 2025. Rates have climbed back over 7%, but people are fed up. And we are seeing 2021 all over again, where people are paying over ask. They haven't quite started to waive inspections yet, but as we continue into the spring market, I bet that might happen on those ultra desirable homes that are super move-in ready. So to keep home prices affordable in the long run, I still believe the interest rates will continue to levitate around 7% to keep home appreciation on average year over year, instead of risking losing all of those first-time home buyers' ability to purchase a home. But just because resale interest rates might not drop down to the low sixes, I also foresee new home builders will continue to offer incentives for $15,000 to $30,000 that can get you into that 5% and sometimes even into that 4% interest rate arena. Sounds like a pretty great way to get a new home and even potentially customize your own home. I have so many buyers right now that are opting into buying homes right now with new construction, but I must stress the necessity of working with a realtor because a good one will negotiate and watch out for your best interests. And I can give you lots of referrals on people who have had problems who have not used a realtor or have decided to have a realtor that steps away from the transaction. Now, this is what I really want to know because this number has been so in our faces on the news and in the socials. Did the mortgage interest rates here in 2024 end up where you thought they would? I don't believe the carrot danglers because the law of supply and demand is going to keep that rate up. So it ended where I thought it was. So to recap my predictions for 2025, number one, I think we are going to see average appreciation of about 3 to 4% on homes. Number two, I think we are going to see an increase in home sales because people are tired of waiting for rates to drop and the baby boomers are starting to hit that top end of the US life expectancy as well, as many still need to downsize. So we're going to see more inventory. Number three, I think the interest rates will stay flat for the foreseeable future, but I love to be wrong and have them decrease. I really think they're going to stay around 7. Number four, I think people with paying these high prices and high interest rates, which turn into high monthly payments, you will see buyers continue to be super picky about their homes, wanting all the things repaired in the inspections and the house in peak move-in ready condition. And number five, buyers will continue to have leverage in negotiations and continue to be able to request inspections, repairs, and seller-paid closing costs if the seller is too greedy pricing the home high at the get-go. We will still see some times of multiple offers, but that will be more to do with the accuracy of the home pricing by the listing agent and the right updates being completed before listing. As a local with boots on the ground, make sure you reach out to me about the Pacific area you are looking at because the market does vary from neighborhood to neighborhood. And I can help you kind of decide what the very best bang for your buck is. Maybe it's a hip neighborhood close to downtown Vancouver, or maybe it's that up and coming market like Washougal or Richfield. We can find the very best place for you to land here in Southwest Washington. And for a good starting point to your research, I absolutely recommend starting right here with this. Everything Southwest Washington, maps, tours, vlogs, pros and cons, this whole playlist is exactly what you need. So if you have more questions, please reach out to me via text, email, or DM on the socials at Realtor Cass. And you can always use right here, this handy dandy QR code. You can scan it right now. It will put my contact information directly into your phone. Again, my name is Cassandra Marks, also known as Realtor Cass, and I am a farmer with a wee little real estate problem. And I want to thank you so much for being with me here today. And until I see you again, bye.